Okay, we got a special draw today. Special different cards. We're doing a Shaman King pack. I always liked Shaman King. Thought it was very cool. Cool idea that you could just find like any ghost from, any point in history really. And it could be your buddy, could team up with you, give you special powers, and then you just fight to become god of the whole world. Now the first pack we drew, we got one of the coolest cards you probably can draw from these packs. So it may be a little bit anticlimactic. We've got the Spirit of Fire, one of the strongest spirits, made up of a bunch of other spirits sort of in the world, I guess. He's kind of in a class of his own. There's other like big element spirits, but the Spirit of Fire is the first one you saw, the only one you see for a long, long time. And he's the ghost partner of the bad guy, How, seen here on the front, who looks just like Yo. So let's see what happens. Let's open this pack, let's see what happens, and we'll see if I can remember all these characters. Got the nice Vanguard back. 1, 2, 3, going from the back to the front. Here we go. What are we looking at? It's Morty. Okay, in the English, his name was Morty. And in the Japanese, his name was Manta. And I guess you kind of see the show, see the comic as well unfold from his point of view at the beginning. He's not a shaman at the start. He's just an average guy, average high schooler, and he's like, oh, that Yo kid, he's really weird. He's like hanging out in graveyards and stuff. So he kind of investigates. Oh, this is cool. It has a little kind of a hollow foil. I don't know what you would call that, but it's definitely shiny. And as you know, in this channel, we're all about the shiny. Hang in there. Hang in there, Yo. I don't know if that's exactly his voice. This is a close approximation. All right. Ryu. Called Rio in the English dub. And he is a pretty cool guy. He had that English dub voice that was kind of like in a non-existent accent. Like the English dub gave him an accent that like doesn't exist in the real world, but has a lot of rolled R's. He's like, I want to hang out with my friends. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that's not a real, maybe it's like an interpretation of some kind of accent, but I'm pretty sure the person voicing him just made up a silly voice. But he was a cool character. He wanted to hang out with the boys. He was kind of I guess he's not in the mafia. Exactly. He's kind of like an anti-mafia. Like he doesn't like the Yakuza. He fights with a wooden sword because a real sword would be illegal. So he does beat up high schoolers at the beginning of the show, I guess. But he's kind of an anti-criminal. Like he doesn't actually want to break the law. He just wants to hang out with the boys. And that's a nice shiny one too. He's got great hair. Great big pompadour. And I don't know how old he's supposed to be. He looks like he's 40. But I think he was only supposed to be like slightly older than Yo and the rest of the main characters. As is the sort of trend in anime to have these characters look fairly old, but then their age is like, oh, he's 16 with like a huge beard and like enormous pompadour. What is this guy called again? I know his buddy is Jocko in the English dub. That's the shaman who summons him. I think it is this guy called Mick. It's kind of like a music joke. It's like a Mick Jagger because he's a jaguar. Yeah, he's just a cat. He's the ghost of a cat. I don't know how he died, but he can turn into motorcycles and all sorts of crazy things. He's a great guy. He doesn't talk because he's just a cat. The other ghosts speak if they're like human ghosts, but all right, and he's pretty shiny too. We're getting some good draws. Oh, this little girl. Dang, I do not remember her name exactly. Is it like Corey or something? She's the little nature ghost spirit of Horo Horo. He's like this blue-haired snowboarding guy. He's trying to bring back nature, trying to save the world. Kind of a climate change, environmental warrior kind of a guy. And this is his little nature spirit buddy. So we're getting lots of the main ghosts. That's good. Pretty sweet. Oh, and here we have, in the English dub, Len. In the Japanese, Ren. he's like the anti-hero guy at the beginning. He's kind of Yo's rival at the start. And he's a pretty scary guy. I mean, his family they're very extreme. They have this philosophy of like it's better to just kill someone than to get to know them because they might betray you. So it's always better to just kill them. But you know, as happens in this show, Yo befriends him and he turns out to be an okay guy, but he still did kill all those people. And that sometimes comes back to get this guy. You know, as it does when you murder people. This is an interesting looking ghost. Oh, dang, they're really hitting me with the hard ones. Oh, okay. Blaumro? I think this is like the ghost partner of a guy who hangs out with Hao. Hao's the bad guy, and he has all these cool shamans who hang out with him. They all want to be on his team because he's super popular. And maybe this is the ghost of one of the guys who hangs out with Hao. I think it's like a guy who claims to be a vampire, but he's not really a vampire. But his ghost is maybe a vampire, but then it turns out that he's not really a vampire, and they're like a vampire hunter. Man, this is a tricky one for me. But cool hair, very wild costume, lots of belts, lots of little connectors. Got little gloves going on there. Yeah, I'll have to look into this guy. I don't exactly remember his deal, but he's a loyal servant, and indeed he is called Blaumro. And then finally, oh shit, dog! This is one of the top ghosts. This is one of the strongest ghosts. Spirit of Fire is stronger than this guy. This is a Babylonian god, Shamash. And his thing is that he sort of reads, I guess he's kind of like a judge. He's like a spiritual judge, you know. But he's extremely powerful. He's the ghost of this lady called the Iron Maiden. I think her name is Jean. And she is a faction that opposes Hao. But she herself and her faction, they are of dubious morality. Sometimes they take things a little too far, you know. They love to kill. They love to kill Hao's followers, and Yo is not. He's not okay with that. He doesn't sanction murder. And this is the powerful ghost of the leader of that faction, Shamash, who is, as I've said, a Babylonian god in real life. So, awesome. We got a ton of cool ghosts. These packs are great. I'm definitely going to get another one of these packs in the future at some point. It's much more rewarding than the Final Fantasy packs, which give me pretty much nothing I like, because... on the other hand, I like most of the characters in Shaman King. Most of the ghosts and characters in Shaman King I'm happy to have. Less so with all of the ones in Final Fantasy that I haven't played. So yeah, lots of great ghosts, and we got Rio and Ren. And Morty. Ooh, good draw.